What up, Spam Fam? Today we are kind of doing what we did last year and making over a mask. And kind of turning myself into... This is what we did last year. It's a little dusty. Oops. But I turned a cheap mask into this, and I don't think I can beat it. So I don't have high hopes for this task, but I bought these from the works. It's a paper mache mask. They were £1 each. I got two because I thought if I messed up on one, then I got a spare. They're a little flimsy, a little bendy. Eye holes, in case you didn't notice that. Just one of them came with like a massive sticker across the forehead, and it peeled. Obviously, the paper mache stuff, which wasn't the smartest of choices to put a sticker there, but as you can see, it doesn't matter. Essentially, we're gonna paint over it. So we're gonna paint over it. We're gonna actually add clay to this as well. So the idea is to turn this into evil spam. I basically want to bring evil spam to life and basically turn myself into evil spam. But first we need to figure out what to do, how to do this. So she has bigger, hollower eyes, so I am going to just make these a little bigger first. And I'm not really cutting it and pushing it through because that way the clay will grip to it. That's my thinking. And we need a bigger mouth. I really feel like I've messed up. So now we're going to get to the clay. I'm going to make her eyebrows a bit more protruding. Having a hard time with it sticking to the mask at first, but once I get this bit, that first bit down, it then attaches and keeps attaching to the clay that I've already laid. So it's not too bad. So I'm going to have to do this in stages because the mask is so flimsy. I am going to have to sort of do it bit by bit. And I'm trying so hard not to use so much water because obviously it's going to soak into the paper mache. Not my smartest of choices, really. But I am filling the nose as well, just to give it a bit more, because it was very triangled, that's it. Just trying to give it a bit more shape. You're going to have to excuse my voice today. It's a little croaky, a little... Bleh. I have some sort of flu thing, I don't know. Don't worry, I won't give it to you. So I was originally just going to add, like, the eyebrows, the nose, and the mouth. But I did end up covering this whole thing with clay. Just to give it the same overall texture. Yeah, I am filling in the eyes. We're not having it a mask that you can see through. Plus, her eyes are hollow, so they need to be filled in. Here is where the struggle really comes in. Because on the original mask, there's no chin, there's no jawline, there's no nothing. So I am having to create a jawline and a chin, which I've never done before. So, as well as creating this mouth, which you will see I mess up anyway. But this is why I had to do it in stages, because this part here was the nightmare. Because I'd cut that mouth out, I feel like I should have left the mouth and just covered over it and created on top of it. Because I made the frame so weak. And every move that I made on one side, it crumpled on the other side. So in creating this jaw and the chin, it was a nightmare. So mistakes have already been made here, which I'm not best pleased about. You can see it's just moving. It's like, it is like paper. But I do leave it alone in a second. I let it dry for like 24 hours and then I come back to it when it's hardened a little bit. But you can see it's just separating from the mask and I'm getting frustrated. The mask is getting frustrated. But yeah, I'm going to let that dry for 24 hours and we'll come back to it because this is a monstrosity at this point. Okay, so 24 hours later, it's dried pretty well, you know. Like, pretty much the whole thing's dried. See where it's bent? Yeah, now that that's all dry, we can fill in the eyes and all that stuff. Now that I've got a more solid base to work with. I did use foil for this so that it wasn't so heavy. So I'm just trying to smooth out some roughness that I did yesterday. Make it look like a more smooth transition. And now it all starts again. Like evil spam. Evil spam was gunning for me for this one. She hated me. I ran out of foil, so having to use the foil from the clay packaging. Use what you've got. See, it would have been just so much easier to clay over the face, like that whole bottom half of the face. I would have been done with it by now if I had done it that way. But I wasn't thinking. And it's very hard to see while I was claying this, but the mouth is so wonky. So wonky. So we're going to let this dry. Here we are. So we went from this chinless, jawless thing to this. So I'm like, okay. So I had sanded and gessoed this. I am just gonna whack a skin color on here all over, and then go in with the details. See how long it takes me to miss that spot there. There you go. It's the expression for me. Like, this is where I've realised that the mouth is wrong. And it's so wonky, it's so much bigger on one side, but it's done now. I tried to go in with some shading, but it didn't quite work. It didn't quite work as I planned. It's like, this is some major bad contouring. Can you tell I don't wear makeup? I'm literally just smushing the paint around here. I'm not doing anything creative or anything. Right, I'm going to let that dry and then we'll come back to it a little bit. So, yeah. Not so bad, I guess. Yeah, this is where you'll fully see that their mouth is, like, way wonky. As soon as I started applying that red though, like, she started to come to life. The red doesn't quite feel right though. And this is mistake number 20,000. I try creating like that glow from her eyes, like that misty black this thing, and then I take it too far. I take it too far, as always. We now have the wig. And here she is. I don't love it. I don't hate it. I feel like I could have done a lot better. The wig definitely makes it more spam, but the wig is so... ugh. Like, the wig that I bought last year for the Jigsaw one was cheap, and this one's cheap. But it's so bad quality, like, you can see the mesh underneath, and there's no way of hiding it. But yeah, I think the wig definitely helps the situation. We're just not going to look at that wonky mouth, that's all. It's a wonky donkey little mouth. But now, I think it's time. See, just there. That's where it needed to end. But I couldn't see that in the claying process. I also don't like the fact that it's shiny. Like, I shouldn't have Mod Podged it, I don't think. But then I guess the hair's shiny, so it fits. But I'm now going to do a photo shoot. Ta-da! Turn myself into evil spam. Now that I've learnt my lesson with this one, I wonder, I have that other mask. Should I create spam next year or something? Not for Halloween, like just for at some point during the year. And then I could have spam and evil spam masks on my wall. Let me know what you think down below of this, and if you would like me to make a spam mask as well. If I hadn't messed up the mouth, I wouldn't be so on the fence with this one. But if you did like this video, please hit that like button, and if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. I hope you enjoyed Halloween, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye!